Welcome back to Ageless Mind and Body, where we bring you science-backed health insights to help you stay sharp, strong, and independent at any age. Now imagine this: you go to bed feeling perfectly fine, and wake up unable to speak clearly, move your arm, or even walk straight. It sounds terrifying, but for many older adults, that's exactly how a stroke begins. And here's the shocker: it's not always caused by smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise. Sometimes it's something much more unexpected, something you might be taking every day, thinking it's helping you vitamins. That's right. Today, we're diving into 5 common vitamins that could actually be increasing your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or nerve damage, especially if taken at the wrong dose or time of day. From vitamin D to B6, these well-meaning supplements can quietly do more harm than good. If you or someone you love is over 60 and taking daily supplements, you need to hear this. Stay with us as we break down what's safe, what's risky, and how to protect your brain starting tonight. 1. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is often praised for its role in supporting bone strength, boosting immunity, and even enhancing mood. For many older adults, it's a go-to supplement, especially during the winter months or when sun exposure is limited. However, while vitamin D offers clear benefits when taken in appropriate amounts, excessive doses can become dangerous, particularly for individuals over 60. When the daily intake of vitamin D exceeds 2,000 IU, especially without medical supervision, it can quietly lead to calcium buildup in the bloodstream. This condition, known as hypercalcemia, causes calcium to deposit in the arteries, making them stiff and less flexible. As a result, the risk of blood clots increases, and those clots can travel to the brain, triggering a stroke. The timing of supplementation also matters. Taking high-dose vitamin D at night, when the body is naturally more vulnerable due to dehydration and lower blood pressure, can further elevate the risk. In the video, a brain doctor shared the story of a 74-year-old man who was dedicated to his health and took a 10,000 IU vitamin D supplement every morning, believing it would protect his bones. He had no idea that over time this habit was pushing his calcium levels dangerously high. One morning he woke up confused, unable to move his arm or speak properly. He had suffered a stroke during the night. Lab results later confirmed vitamin D toxicity, which had caused severe calcium imbalance and vascular damage. This case is not an isolated incident. Many over-the-counter supplements contain 5,000 IU or even 10,000 IU of vitamin D, far more than what most older adults actually need. The recommended upper limit for seniors is usually around 800 to 1,000 IU per day, unless a deficiency is diagnosed by a healthcare provider. Yet many people take large doses daily for years, assuming more is better. Unfortunately, in the case of vitamin D, that belief can have devastating consequences. High calcium levels not only affect blood vessels, but can also disrupt kidney function, elevate blood pressure, and contribute to chronic fatigue and confusion. The real danger is how quietly it happens. There are often no warning signs until a serious event like a stroke occurs. The takeaway is clear: vitamin D should always be taken with caution, in appropriate doses, and preferably in the morning rather than at night. It's also critical to get blood levels checked regularly if you're taking supplements, especially if they are combined with calcium or heart medications. What seems like a helpful habit may over time become a silent threat to your brain and overall health. Always consult a doctor before adding or adjusting your vitamin D intake. Awareness and moderation can make the difference between protection and harm. 2. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is widely known for its potential benefits to heart health, circulation, and even cognitive function. Many older adults take it as part of their daily supplement routine, often believing it helps improve memory, skin appearance, and overall cardiovascular function. While vitamin E in moderate amounts can be helpful, high doses, especially those found in over-the-counter supplements, can act as a natural anticoagulant. This means it can thin the blood and slow clotting. The problem arises when this effect overlaps with prescribed blood thinners like warfarin aspirin or Plavix, which are commonly used by seniors to manage heart disease, atrial fibrillation, or past stroke risks. The result is a dangerous combination that can quietly increase the risk of internal bleeding, particularly in the brain. One striking example involves an 81-year-old retired librarian named Evelyn who was on warfarin for a heart valve condition. She had been carefully following her doctor's instructions and maintaining stable blood pressure, but decided to add a natural vitamin E supplement she found in a magazine ad. The dosage, 800 IU per capsule, seemed harmless to her. Within 3 weeks, she was rushed to the emergency room with a severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. Imaging revealed a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside the brain, not caused by trauma or uncontrolled blood pressure, but by overly thinned blood. The combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had made her blood too thin to clot properly. This situation is not rare. Many people are unaware that vitamin E in doses higher than the recommended 15 millimoles, about 22 IU per day, can interfere with clotting, especially when taken with anticoagulant or antiplatelet medications. Most supplements sold in stores contain between 200 and 1,000 IU per capsule, far more than what older adults typically need, and far more than what is considered safe for those on heart or blood pressure medications. Unfortunately, there are no warning signs on the label, and few people check with their doctor before starting these high-potency vitamins. Vitamin E's role as a blood thinner may sound beneficial, especially to those worried about clots or heart attacks, but when the blood becomes too thin, even a tiny vessel rupture in the brain can lead to devastating consequences. In Evelyn's case, she survived the stroke, but now walks with a cane and struggles with short-term memory loss. Her story highlights a crucial truth: not all vitamins are harmless, and more is not always better. Seniors in particular must approach supplementation with caution, especially when taking prescription medications. The effects of vitamin interactions are not always immediate, but over time they can build to dangerous levels. Awareness, communication with healthcare providers, and careful label reading can prevent tragic outcomes. If you or a loved one are taking blood thinners and also supplementing with vitamin E, it's essential to speak with a medical professional about safe dosing or whether the supplement is even necessary at all. What's marketed as a helpful addition to your health regimen could, without warning, become a silent threat to your brain. 3. Vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is frequently marketed as a nerve support or brain booster supplement. It's often found in formulas aimed at improving energy, focus, memory, and even circulation. Because of its reputation for supporting neurological function, many older adults take it daily, sometimes in high doses, believing it will protect their brain and slow cognitive decline. However, what most people don't realize is that excessive intake of vitamin B6 can actually lead to serious and sometimes permanent nerve damage. When taken at doses above 100 milliliters per day, especially over long periods, B6 accumulates in the body and begins to harm the protective sheath that insulates nerves, much like stripping insulation off an electrical wire. This damage can result in symptoms such as numbness, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, poor balance, tremors, and even memory problems. In older adults, these symptoms are commonly misattributed to arthritis, aging, or early signs of dementia, which means the root cause often goes undiagnosed for months or even years. One patient, a 76-year-old retired truck driver, came to his neurologist after experiencing repeated falls, tingling in his extremities, and difficulty walking. Upon reviewing his daily supplements, it was discovered that he had been taking a so-called nerve support complex containing 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 per tablet twice daily for over a year. That's 200 milligrams per day, more than 10 times the recommended upper safe limit for seniors. Unlike some other water-soluble vitamins that are flushed out quickly in the urine, vitamin B6 can accumulate in body tissues over time, particularly in the liver and nervous system. This accumulation leads to neurotoxicity, which can become irreversible if not addressed early. In this patient's case, the supplement was immediately discontinued, and while his symptoms did not worsen, he was left with long-term balance issues, and now requires the use of a cane. The reality is that seniors only need around 2 to 10 milligrams of vitamin B6 daily, most of which can be obtained through a balanced diet that includes foods like poultry, bananas, potatoes, and fortified cereals. However, many brain and energy supplements sold online or in pharmacies contain 50, 100, or even 200 milliliters of B6 per dose, often without clear warnings on the label. This presents a hidden risk for older adults who are trying to support their cognitive health, but may inadvertently be damaging their nervous system instead. The danger lies in how slowly and silently the symptoms develop, often going unnoticed until the damage is already done. If you or someone you know is taking a supplement labeled for nerve, brain, or energy support, it's essential to check the dosage of vitamin B6 and speak with a healthcare provider about whether it's necessary or safe. In this case, the line between help and harm is a narrow one, and awareness is key to staying healthy, independent, and mentally sharp as you age. 4. Vitamin A. Vitamin A is an essential nutrient known for supporting vision, immune function, and skin health. It plays a critical role in maintaining the surface tissues of the eyes and supporting the health of mucous membranes and the immune system. For these reasons, many older adults take vitamin A supplements or consume multivitamins that include it often alongside specialized skin eye or anti-aging formulas. However, unlike water-soluble vitamins that the body can easily eliminate, vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it gets stored in the liver and other tissues, including the brain. This storage capacity makes it much easier for levels to build up over time, especially when people are taking multiple supplements containing vitamin A without realizing it. As we age, our liver's ability to metabolize and eliminate excess fat-soluble vitamins slows down, making older adults particularly vulnerable to toxicity. Excessive vitamin A intake over time can lead to a condition known as intracranial hypertension, where pressure inside the skull increases and begins to mimic the symptoms of a stroke. This includes persistent headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, slurred speech, and even confusion. In severe cases, long-term high intake can cause permanent vision loss or cognitive decline due to the stress placed on the brain's blood vessels and the optic nerve. One real-life example involves a 79-year-old retired piano teacher who began experiencing blurred vision headaches and trouble maintaining her balance. Her family feared she had suffered a stroke, but imaging showed no bleeding or clots. Instead, doctors discovered elevated intracranial pressure caused by years of high-dose vitamin A supplementation. She had been taking nearly 10,000 IU daily through an over-the-counter eye and skin formula, believing it was helping her age gracefully. What she didn't know was that this amount far exceeded the recommended upper limit of 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day for older adults. Unfortunately, she is not alone. Many multivitamins already provide the full recommended daily dose of vitamin A, but individuals often unknowingly double or triple their intake by adding specialized supplements. Because the symptoms of vitamin A toxicity develop gradually, they are frequently misdiagnosed as other age-related issues, and by the time the true cause is identified, the damage may already be done. This is especially dangerous for seniors, as even mild toxicity can lead to increased fall-risk cognitive impairment and loss of independence. The key to avoiding these risks is understanding how much vitamin A you're actually consuming and recognizing that more is not always better. Reading supplement labels, avoiding unnecessary combinations, and consulting with a healthcare provider before starting any new supplement is critical. The body needs vitamin A, but it needs it in the right amounts and from the right sources. In most cases, a diet that includes leafy greens, carrots, sweet potatoes, and dairy products provides plenty of vitamin A without the risks associated with high-dose supplementation. Awareness and moderation are essential in protecting both your vision and your brain health as you age. 5. Niacin, vitamin B3. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, is often promoted for its cholesterol-lowering benefits and is commonly found in heart health supplements, fortified foods, and even energy drinks. Some doctors may prescribe niacin in controlled doses to help reduce LDL cholesterol and triglycerides while increasing HDL cholesterol. However, while niacin can be effective in specific clinical settings, taking high doses without proper medical supervision, particularly in adults over 60, can lead to unintended and potentially dangerous consequences. One of the most concerning risks associated with excess niacin is its effect on blood pressure regulation. When taken in high doses, typically above 50 mg per day, niacin causes the blood vessels to dilate, which leads to a sensation known as flushing warmth, redness, and tingling, especially in the face. Although this effect may seem harmless or even a sign that the supplement is working, it is often followed by a sudden constriction of the same blood vessels. This rapid expansion and contraction can create dramatic fluctuations in blood pressure, putting unnecessary stress on the cardiovascular system and increasing the risk of stroke, particularly in older adults whose arteries may already be stiff or narrowed with age. One real-world case involved an 82-year-old retired postal worker who began taking an over-the-counter heart support supplement advertised to improve circulation and manage cholesterol. Each serving contained 1,000 milliliters of niacin, and he was taking it twice a day, 2,000 milliliters daily, over 60 times the amount generally considered safe for seniors without medical supervision. After several weeks of this regimen, he began experiencing facial flushing, pounding heart sensations, and dizzy spells, especially in the mornings. His family thought it was anxiety, and even his doctor initially attributed the symptoms to his blood pressure medication. However, one morning he suffered a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, a mini-stroke characterized by slurred speech and temporary confusion. While the episode passed within minutes, it served as a warning sign that his brain had been momentarily deprived of adequate blood flow. Upon review of his supplement intake, the connection to high-dose niacin was clear. Fortunately, he recovered without permanent damage, but the event highlighted how even natural vitamins can have powerful effects on the body when misused. Many people believe that because niacin is a vitamin, it's automatically safe. But that's a dangerous misconception. Flush-free and extended-release forms may seem gentler, but they still carry the same risks, including elevated blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, and blood sugar disruption. Seniors, especially those with hypertension or heart conditions, should be extremely cautious with any supplement containing more than 50 milligrams of niacin per serving. It's essential to read labels carefully and consult a healthcare provider before starting or continuing any high-dose vitamin B3 regimen. In most cases, a heart-healthy diet rich in omega-3s fiber and antioxidants provides safer and more sustainable cholesterol support. While niacin does have a role in cardiovascular care, it must be used responsibly and under medical guidance. Ignoring this can turn a well-intentioned habit into a serious risk for your heart, your brain, and your independence. As we wrap up this important conversation, remember this: when it comes to vitamins and supplements, more doesn't always mean better, especially as we age. The way our bodies absorb, metabolize, and respond to nutrients changes over time. What might have been harmless in your 30s or 40s could quietly pose a risk in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. That's why blindly adding high-dose supplements to your daily routine without understanding how they interact with your body or existing medications can lead to unintended consequences, including nerve damage, blood pressure, spikes, brain bleeds, or even stroke. The good news: you don't need to rely on pills to nourish your brain, protect your heart, or support your immune system. In fact, some of the most powerful and protective nutrients come directly from whole natural foods. Think eggs for clean protein, avocados for healthy fats, berries for antioxidants, fatty fish like salmon for omega-3s, leafy greens for folate and brain protection, and whole grains for steady energy and circulation support. These real foods provide what your body truly recognizes and needs without the dangerous megadoses or side effects. The message here is clear: stay cautious, stay informed, and always consult your doctor before starting or adjusting any supplement, especially if you're taking medications or managing chronic conditions. Your health decisions matter more than ever at this stage of life, and small mindful changes can make a big difference in how you feel, think, and function each day. If this video helped you see vitamins in a new light, or gave you one valuable insight to protect yourself or a loved one, we invite you to be part of our growing community. Subscribe to Ageless Mind and Body for more science-backed practical advice to help you stay strong, sharp, and independent at every age. Your journey to better health continues here, and we're honored to be with you every step of the way.